Hello, wonderful and beautiful people of God. This is your friend and your sister. You're welcome back to my channel, Elizabeth Mo. Now, this is going to be my first video for 2025. But before I delve in, it would be nice to know how you were doing. I know this is not really like a talk back thing, but the only way we could talk is through comments, a lot of them stuff. But then, how was the celebration? How did it go for you? How did it go for you? The Christmas celebrations, all the festivities around the New Year, the foods, the traditions you shared, your families, your relatives that you saw. How was everything? How did it go for you? I understand that this time can really be hard for some people. You know, it's not everybody that will be celebrating at this time. It's not because their faith or their religion says that they shouldn't, but maybe because they've had a hard time in their lives. And you know, they're just trying and struggling to come to terms with things. Maybe things might have befallen them, or they can't just remember something that has befallen them in the past, or maybe it's a recent thing that has happened to them. But all the same, whenever I find myself in such situations where everyone is celebrating or everyone else around me is celebrating, and it seems like nobody's feeling me or nobody's understanding the way that I feel, it's hard. It's a difficult time, to be honest with you. It's really difficult, but I try myself to seclude myself. That's what I do. It's not a very good thing, but I seclude myself for a while, think about things, and then I jump back into the celebrations. That's what I do. I don't know how every other person copes with it, but then if you find yourself in that situation, please accept my sympathy at this time. I don't know who you are, I don't know who I'm talking to, but just accept my sympathy, okay? So, still based on the celebration and the things that we do, I got into some conversations with some people, you know, over the celebration times, and they were really, not really crossed, but they were not finding it funny that why do we say it's a new year? Why do we do the crossover services? You know, them services where you do on the 31st of 31st of December to the 1st of January. So this person was really talking about it, that is it really a new year? That's not a new year. That even in the Bible, scripturally, December January is not a new year. That the new year, spiritual new year, is around springtime. You know, it's around springtime, and then they were just giving a lot of arguments about that. And I just wouldn't be caught up with it. To be honest with you, I wasn't going to be caught up with it because I didn't want anybody to come and ruin the way I'm feeling. I think, on the other hand, what I'm going to say to this is that I think when we talk about New Year, though people say it's New Year, but it's actually about yourself, to be honest. It's how new that you feel. For example, in a school where I work, or in schools generally, not only where I work, in schools, we know that the academic new year or new session is in September. Okay, in UK here, the financial new year is in April. That's when the taxes and all the returns, that's when they all come in. As a person, when you celebrate your birthday, it's a new year for you because you're beginning a new year. So I think and I believe that when they talk about newness, it's about how you have really decided, or how we as a people can really decide to move things forward. You know, so the understanding about things at times may differ, and so may begin to start bringing arguments or trying to say I'm the right person or I'm the wrong person. No, there's no right or wrong person in this issue. You know, just like some people don't still believe that December 25 is not when Christ was born. Oh yes, we don't, but we celebrate it. We know that era. I mean, if it's not it, let's pin it onto it and say, okay, this is the reason why I'm celebrating this time. And so if somebody has come after the birthday of somebody, what comes next is newness, because you're walking into a new thing. So if I say December, the end of December was for Christ coming into my life, for example, and I decided to take January as a newness, to celebrate my newness, I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with that. After all, the Bible tells us in the book of Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 22 to 23, it says the blessings and the newness of the faithfulness of God, they are new every morning. They are new every morning. It says, great is thy faithfulness. So in as much as you see these great things, this newness of God coming into you every morning, I think you should now decide to now say, how do I want to run my 2025? Do I want to run it with courage? Do I want to run it with determination? Do I want to run it with anxiety? Do I want to start it with depression? Do I want to start it with zeal? You know, these are the kind of things that you have to sit down and speak to yourself and say, this is what I want to do. And I believe the reason why most people's resolutions are not working is because they've not really sat down with themselves to think it through. They rather sit down and go with the flow of other people. So I want us to realize, like I said earlier, that every day is a fresh start for you. Every sunrise that you see is a new chapter in your life waiting to be written. How do you want to write it? What are your aspirations? How do you want to write it? How do you want to tackle things? So every new day brings you a fresh opportunity, a fresh start. And this is the way that I see things. So you have to sit down and decide, how do I want to start a new me? I'll quickly share this one with you. Towards the end of December, I decided to run a cholesterol test on myself. So I signed up, I went to the clinic and everything. I had my bloods done, I had all the checks done. And when I looked at the checks, I mean, I could just sit down and look at it and say, if I don't watch this, this is going to happen. And what did I decide to do? It's a bit tricky. I mean, it's a bit not really something to do, but I decided to start going on lemonades and peppermint tea, you know, just to help me with the reduction of food. And raspberry tea, I increased on it. So I could not really eat much. I don't know if it's showing that I'm a little bit slimmer, which I don't think it's really showing, but then I'm really trying, I'm striving towards it. If you want to say, oh, this is what you want to, for my health, I'm taking it more seriously. I'm taking it a bit more seriously. In fact, I started thinking about it. If I could just have a health and wellness channel on my YouTube. I mean, I'm not very fast in it. I'm not really big, but I'm just thinking if I could just start sharing something a little bit about the things that I know that could help, you know, with health and wellness. I was just thinking about these things. Now, if you want to ask, or if anybody wants to say, that is me thinking about something new for 2025. Maybe I'm gonna do it, maybe I'm not gonna do it, I'm not sure. I just thought about it, but I've not really, I mean, it just came to my mind. I've not really thought about it, if this is what I want to do. So like I said earlier, this is how resolutions work. So if it just comes to your mind and you say, oh, this, but you don't sit down to think about it, it's not really gonna happen. Okay, it's not really gonna happen, or it won't be as effective as you want it to do. So it's still something I'm thinking about because I need to do something else. This first quarter, you know, I mean, during the end of the year was a time where everybody could grab everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was still grabbing all them things, you know, I was still eating them, but I was a bit relaxed that even if I grabbed those things, I had something that I would use that would help me to flush some of these things out, you know. So I wasn't just eating it and just building up on my fats and everything, you see. So these are just one thing that I would like to share with us today. If you have anything to say about this, drop it in the comment section. I'll be happy to read it. And I would not fail to say thank you to you. Thank you for watching my videos since I've come back to YouTube in I think about 3 months ago. Yeah, you guys have been there watching the videos. I say thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing it. And I would see you in the very next one. Bye.